London Hours.
So that one there, Teddy Music, Ice featuring D-double-E. Big tune. Make sure you check that one out on iTunes. And also, a very big release that's on iTunes at this moment. I actually released 1st of July, Living the Life. What's going on, man? What's going on? Cool, Jammer?
Yeah.
What's really good, baby? Cool?
It's out here living the dream, cuz.
Now, first of all, what I want to know is, yeah, like, it's a big album, I ain't gonna lie, but where did the title Living the Dream come from, man?
Obviously, the title Living the Dream, people just think, oh, because you think you're out there and you're balling and money and champagne, it's nothing to even do with that. Living the Dream is just me, like, as a youth coming from where I come from, going to, growing up and going to, like, garage and jungle raves and looking at Skibber and Shabba and just wanting to be like them one day, or wanting to be like a crowd controller, you know what I mean, and be into the music, and just coming from there as a raver to being like with Skibber and Shabba and them man saying it's our time and we're running the game, and then obviously like linking up with people like Diddy and Bone Thugs and Harmony and all people like that I used to watch on telly growing up as a youth, thinking I would never grace the same air or breathe the same air as these people. So for me, it's just like achieving things. Living the dream for me is me achieving my dream and living it at the same time.
Definitely, man. I was checking out the Twitter as well, and the album's got great reception, man. Do you know what I mean? It's got really good reception. I believe you laying down the source, is that right? Like earlier on this week, is that correct? Yeah. So like Essex, man, you know what I'm saying, hyping you up and all that sort of stuff, man. Has that been the general response from the crowd and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, like the response from the crowd's good, because obviously I've always been a stage presence performer, do you know what I mean? That's what my whole thing is about, performing. I love performing the most, but this album I've just tried to get across, because some people might think I'm fake, like because I make hype music and it's just about fun, and most of the stuff that I chat about, I wouldn't say it's rubbish, but it's not touching topics that are happening around us as people, as black people, as young people.
So you would say it's not informative?
No, it's not informative. It's just gas music, just to enjoy yourself. And when you're in the club and you're drunk or you're with your brethren and you're driving, you want to have a little laugh. That's the music I make, and I enjoy making that music. But at the same time, I have a lot more depth to me as a person and what I'm about and where I've come from and what I'm trying to achieve as an individual. So that's what this album's about. Just people taking a stance back and actually realizing, okay. Because I shout a lot as well. People might think like when I'm got too much energy on stage or on a tune, some people just look at it as shouting. They just think, oh, this guy's shouting, turn him off. So you've got a big base of people that, you know, they still need to understand what I am as an artist. You know what I'm saying? So I need to cater for a wider base. So that's why this album I've just kind of tried to make more music for like other people as well. I've still got my hype tracks on there. I still got Beef, and I still got Big Man, I still got Fat Boys. But I've got other music that you've never heard me in a form of before.
I think we're going to get into Big Man a little later, but I just really want to put this on camera right now to the audience, man. I'm slightly gassed, alright? You know what I'm saying? No, real talk, I'm slightly gassed, innit? I'm a very big Grime fan. The first time I remember seeing yourself, as in on the DVD, was your birthday. Was the birthday set at Deja Vu. A lot of man in the building, you know what I'm saying? Dizzy Rascal there, you know what I'm saying? A lot of man was in the building, man. So we're going to try and cover all of that, you know what I'm saying, for as long as you're here, do you know what I'm saying? So look, I think it's right if we can get into Big Man. Is that blessed? Yeah, okay, let's get into Big Man, man. You know what I'm
saying? London Hours. London Hours.
There you go, that one there was Big Man, absolutely big tune. There's a lot of man on that, man.
Yeah,
yeah, man, you got yourself, you had Viper, Socks, a lot of man on there, but I was noticing on the album, man, there's not that many features though, other than that tune, the one with Skepta, as well, Secrets is on the album as well, but was there any reason why there weren't that many features on the album?
To be honest, I'll be so real with you, and it's no disrespect to anyone. Like, the only feature I was going to put on that CD is Skepta, and that's because obviously we make music very closely, and what I'm trying to achieve and what he's trying to achieve in music at this present time is kind of very similar. But everybody else on that CD, other than Big Man, because I done that tune as a tune that I wanted to kind of get everybody in the grime scene together, and the older lot and the newer lot from the grime scene all on one track and kind of make history. But other than that, I wanted to get myself across. I wanted to speak. I wanted that CD to be me getting myself across to the people and for them to understand me a bit more. because like my last album, like I said, I was in a record deal situation.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you're in a record deal situation, sometimes people want things that you don't want as an artist. So, and I must say, shout out to Big Dada, because they do understand what artists like myself need, and and they do let you have a lot of creative control. But at the same time, there's still a lot of pressures and a lot of things that you have to meet as an artist on a label or in a label situation. So for this album, for me, it's just enjoying. Like, I've done music for 10 years, so I've seen everything, innit? I've seen most of the stuff. So I just enjoyed it. Like, my music career started to become about money and making money and stuff, and then I just started to not enjoy it as much. So I went back to that sheer basis of just going to the studio and enjoying what I'm doing and not caring about if people like it or not. I like it.
Definitely.
So, and then obviously when people see me and they see me embracing it and enjoying it, they might feel it the same way as I do. And I think that's just what music's meant to be about, obviously, because of us coming from where we come from and coming from nothing and progressing to being so big and doing things that people would never imagine people from the UK and musicians doing. It's hard to maintain as well at the same time for so long. So you do have to reinvent yourself, you do have to come with new ideas, you do have to do new things, you know what I mean? And you have to try and still remain happy doing it. So that's what I'm doing, man. I'm just not caring about nothing and no one. I say what I want in my interviews, I do what I want, I make what tunes I want, I put them out, I pay for everything myself, you get me? And obviously I got my team, there's a few members of it, but it's not no massive team, there's like 3 of us, you know, that do this. And obviously I've got my crew, Boy Better Know. But as Jammer, as an individual artist, that's what we do, man. We're just making music and enjoying stuff, flying around the world, going places, doing stuff, man. We're just enjoying it.
It's definitely big, man. What I've noticed that, especially in your career, man, because let's just call it a career, you know what I'm saying? You've been here for a hot minute, innit? So let's just call it a career. You started out as a producer, well, a DJ even, then went into producing and then went into art, then went into like the spitting and all that sort of stuff. What do you prefer most, like?
That's a mad one. Well, to be honest, I prefer being an artist, like spitting and getting my point across and speaking and having an opinion.
Yeah.
The most, because I go on stage and you know, the whole vibe, but you get back off the crowd and everyone's singing, you can't really buy that type of feeling. The beats thing, I love it because when I first started doing it, remember, I just used to stay in the studio. I never used to go anywhere, innit? So the artists used to come there, spit, I make the tune.
To the basement, right?
Yeah, to the basement. They go out, do their shows, come back, tell me about all this great stuff that I've never seen, never witnessed, and didn't even really believe. I was just making the tunes. And then when I went out with them to a show, I never forget, it's when I first signed Kano and I went out to a show with them, with Nasty Crew, and obviously Kane wanted me to come because it was all new to him and so that thing, so I just rolled with them. And I saw they played Take You Out in the dance, and like literally the dance got locked off.
Wow.
The dance got locked off, there was no more dance.
Grime was powerful back in the day.
And I'm there like, this is my beat, like, and that was the awakening moment for me, like, wow, like this is mad, like, okay, alright, then everything changed, my perspective of things changed from there. And that's when I started taking the Jamaica the World thing seriously and signing so many artists and putting out their music, because I knew there was a fan base out there that was willing to accept us and willing to take us on.
Jamaica the World as a record label is still going on to this day, is that right, yeah?
Yeah, Living the Dream come out on Jamaica the World, obviously / Boy Better Know.
Yeah.
And Lord of the Mics, because those are still my affiliated companies. But
what's going to be the next release from Jamaica the World, if there is any, coming up in the pipeline?
Jamming.
Yeah, bigging up Jamming actually. He was on the London HRS Show a hot minute ago, you know, so bigging up Jamming.
Yeah, he's going to be coming out in Jamaica the World. I'm working on the CD with him next. I want to help him because he's very talented, and it's just about, I just want to push the people that, you know, work hard and sometimes get overlooked as well at the same time. So I got Jamming, I got enough man around me, man. All the men that you see me splitting with and that, when the time's right, we'll drop a project on the Jamaica the World label, and we're bringing that back now. We're bringing that, making that back to the forefront and bring some music out on that, because that label as well is about innovative music and original music and doing something that no one ever done before. When I was doing the Jamaica the World stuff, when I went to Lockdown Records in the beginning and I was showing them my show reel, they was like, yeah, this is great, but we don't understand who we're going to sell it to, and we don't understand the music. We don't have a fan base for it. And I'm like, alright, cool. The same A&R's calling me back a year later to say there's this great tune, and when he shows me the tune, it's only the same tune that I showed him a year ago.
Jesus.
So it's like, you can't really worry about what these people are gonna. You just have to make music, put it out there. And the great thing about nowadays is there's YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's YouTube. You could just make a song and put it out, and when people like it, they like it. I think the industry was made it was becoming too controlled. You know, the people in higher places, they're the ones that say whether this tune is going to get played and whether it's going to go big. And I think that's what messed up a lot of artists, because when they got record deals, they were trying to make a lot of music that wasn't them. And then what happened is their fan bases start unfollowing them and not really crumbling. They're not into them, do you know what I mean? Because they're losing the original reason why people was into them in the first place. And I think just the way the scene's going, and it's all down to money. It's because so much money is flying around. Making certain sounding music.
Yeah.
And then what I seem to think, because one man done that, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
But that's not always the way things go. You know, what I was doing years ago, no one was doing, so it worked.
Yeah, definitely.
I think when you do things that no one's doing, it works. I think when you do what everyone's doing, it might work for a stage or a time, but that time ends.
Yeah, trends die down.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, you know what, yeah? Let's get into the video that dropped today, right? Just now. Mind, Body and Soul, yeah? This one again is of Living the Dream. And make sure you stay tuned at LDN HRS. Tweet us if you've got any questions for Jam. Let's get into this one now. Still.
London Hours.
So there we go, that one is Mind, Body and Soul. The video is out now. Make sure you check that one out. Now, Gabs, I know you got a little question, right?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I'm part of the younger bunch, and the first time I heard of Jam was when Merkel Man came out. I think I was in, what, year 7? I was literally in year 7, and I was watching Channel U, and I saw this guy with dreadlocks and a purple and green suit, and I was like, whoa! And then my brother, I found it so scary, I'll be honest with you, I thought he was scary. Then my brother would literally in the night, he'd be like, Merkel Man! And me and my sisters would scream, so yeah, definitely, I remember you, I can't forget you.
Childhood experience.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously you said that you're a very passionate artist, and you have a lot of crafts, you're very multi-talented, but would you say that this album that you've put out now is the best material that you've done so far?
Yeah.
100? Okay.
I feel that it's a progression as a person and an artist. You know, progression is the key to everything. And what I used to do, I'm not brilliant in it, but that was what I've done before. You know, that's what I've done before. But what are you doing now?
Okay.
Today, do you know what I mean? And that's what a lot of artists go off, yeah, like I did this, I did that, yeah, cool, I hear that, but what are you doing today? And today, stuff that I'm putting out and where I am in my life and how I feel and the people that I'm around and who I'm interacting with, I feel that what I've done is perfect.
Okay.
Talking about that, yeah, I know that you've progressed. You were in Nasty Crew, you mentioned that, and now you're in Boy Better Know. But I personally want to know, as a Grime fan, what sort of crew did you prefer? Nasty Crew or Boy Better Know? What was do you know what I'm saying? What did you prefer?
It's a deep question. Well, to be real, yeah, Nasty Crew is like part of the Holy Grail. Like, you know, you can't even, you can't really even begin to, say Boy Better Know and Nasty Crew. Nasty Crew is legendary, you know. That just goes over there in the books, you know, just like of starting. It's like NWA, do you know what I mean? That's a serious thing. But you know, at the time I was in Nasty Crew making that music, you know, it was just a great thing because we didn't know what we was really doing. It was just a natural chemistry that we made as like 10 guys that hooked up and was making music together. But as a crew and enjoying it, I enjoy being in Boy Better Know much more because they're my real friends. They're not even friends, they're family, they're brothers. It's like, it's a deep thing. Like, none of us will ever go hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Nasty Crew, there wasn't so much, we wasn't really friends. There was like 4 sets of people from 4 different places that might have hooked up through someone, and there was great musicians and it was great for the time and it was an amazing thing. But we wasn't really friends or family.
Oh, okay. So there wasn't really a bond?
No, there was a bond. We rolled out together, like we was together, we was the biggest thing in England for a very long time.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, when I'm saying real friends, I'm saying when you really trials and tribulations happen in your life and you're at your lowest and things are happening, that I don't see those people.
So there was only a musical bond. There was no like, there wasn't like a real deep-rooted friendship.
Me and D Double are good friends, and we're still friends up to now. Me and Footsie are still friends up to now. Me and Marcus Nasty, funny enough, are actually mostly out of everybody else in the crew. So obviously Double and Footsie separately because they're from my ends, but everybody else that was in the crew from Palasto, I get on more now with Marcus because he understands that the biggest mistake was ever to get me out of the crew.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I left the crew, it fell apart to nothing because obviously I was the backbone of it. I was keeping it together, I was the producer, and I was the mind and the businessman behind the whole thing. And obviously he only realised that after everything crumbled, you know what I mean?
Cool.
And yeah, I would just say like, Boy Better knows my family, do you know what I mean? But just being part of Nasty Crew and knowing, it's kind of a weird thing because I don't even feel like I was part of them. I'm a fan of them.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not, you know what I mean? It's like it wasn't even me.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. And what I say as well is about Real Deep and Nasty. Like Nasty, they never ever came out and made a commercial. There's no CD. There's nothing. There's just memories. It's just if you was there at the time. So, boy, but I'd say it's a Boy Better Know thing all day.
Talking about that, yeah, we want to know the future of Grime. Now, obviously, you are, let's say, the Grime floor father. You're the Grime father. So, what do you think of the current state of Grime?
There's always a
argument in it, but you know, so it's only right that we ask you the future of Grime. What do you think of it, man? Especially with the new youths that are coming up, like Cozzy and all them man there, like Socks and yes.
You know what? Listen, yeah. I'm embracing all the up and coming talent, you know, and I've heard a lot of talk about our jammer, you're blocking the younger artists and this, that, the other. And you know, people might see me get into an altercation with Cozzy and Scroofers or whatever, but my whole thing is nobody could ever say I'm blocking the youth then because I'm the only one that pushes Grime to the forefront. I done Lord of the Mics 3 and 4, I put a lot of money into it, I put it on TV, adverts, I paid these man's wages, I've took them around the country, I've done things for guys. You know, Scroofers, I wasn't a part of it, but I've always embraced these guys, you know, whoever it is. So all this stuff that I'm hearing on the roads about I'm blocking guys and all that, I'm the only one that is actually caring. Like, because every other person that was from Grime's up there doing whatever they're doing, and they don't even look at you lot. So I'm the only one that's close to you that you feel you can talk to because I give you the chance to be in my vicinity. So so sometimes when people get comfortable with you, they think that they're on your level or they can start to say things. So cool, I get that. You know, I get that, but I wish them all the best, man. They're doing Grime. At least they're doing Grime.
What do you think of? I know DJ Cameo's come up with the future Grime stuff.
No, Cameo. See what? Yeah.
You shut that one down, boy.
This is what I don't want. This like basically no. Whatever you was gonna say just now, no.
Okay, well, there's not gonna comment on that, yeah.
Yeah, like,
No comment.
I don't want to. It's not a thing. I'm above all of that.
Cool.
I'm above all of that. You know what I mean? I could easily wild out on these guys, but on that one, because that is what they're trying to do. They want me to have a thing with them, and I don't even want to have anything with anyone. I just want to make great music, something some people can't do.
Definitely. All right. So, and also, right, GQ have recently come out with their little list.
Yeah.
About the 25 worst rappers of all time.
Who's on there? What man on there?
Nah, yeah, I'm just gonna put it out here, innit, yeah. Number eight was all English rappers. Come on.
Quite disrespectful.
Real disrespectful in it, do you know what I'm saying? Apart from Mike Skinner.
Who else did they have on there?
And
They had Vanilla Ice on there, they had Master P on there.
No, Vanilla Ice is hard, fam. How can you diss Vanilla Ice? What? Come on, man. He's a legend.
Yeah, I know, but
What's that saying? MC Hammer's whack?
But still, that's still disrespectful though. Like number 8, do you know what I'm saying? All English Grime artists, whatever you want to call them, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Just number 8, just classing them there. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you want to comment on that or?
To be honest, man, a lot of American rappers are whack.
of course, 2 Chainz.
No.
Say some names.
I wouldn't say 2 Chainz is whack. I wouldn't say 2 Chainz is whack. I just think that you couldn't say we're whack because a lot of the music is very basic.
Yeah.
And obviously basic music works, but you can definitely not say, you can't say we're whack. We all spit double time.
Yeah.
So already we're marking you. So I don't know. Like we're marking you, but obviously it's the accent barrier, innit?
Yeah, definitely.
That's all it is, it's the accent barrier. But within time, like I said, look, the thing happened with Skeppy and Diddy, the thing more is going to happen. Tiny's breaking America. In 10 years' time,
Flocker and gigs as well.
Yeah, my son will be on a billboard in America somewhere and they will rate him more. But it takes time, innit? It takes for us to do what we got to do, and then the next generation and the generation after that.
Cool. I know you're a busy man, but I just want to know, as a Lord of the Mics fan, is there going to be a Lord of the Mics fight?
Yeah, there's another one coming Boxing Day this year, and I'm changing the format, the way I'm bringing it to you. It's going to be mental. When you actually find out what's going on, everyone, it's going to be an uproar, and it's just like, I'm just trying to be innovative and just bring new stuff and new hype.
Just
this
think-
new one, yeah.
I just think I should throw it out there. I've been telling Bounce for the past couple of weeks that I can spit, so like,
Come
obviously.
on, back to back.
Yeah, I got a quick 16.
Go on. No. You've been pushing this. Go on.
He doesn't rate my spitting abilities, but obviously I think that would be a great place for me to showcase my talent on Lord of the Mic. So what'd you say?
Dude, what? Snowman then, innit?
Obviously I don't want to do it now. I want to have my debut on your.
Give me 4 bars quickly.
Okay. Alright, hold on.
Alright, you know
Shall
what?
I do to this?
While
Shall I
you're
do to the
thinking
beat
of your 4 bars, in the meantime, yeah, can you come on Snakeyman? Jammer versus Snakeyman,
Yeah.
Decline, what's going on?
Decline.
And that's it, yeah?
Yeah, that's it, man. But I'm gonna love you lot and leave you as well because
Alright.
I've got a mental schedule today, but it's been fun.
Yeah, definitely,
I like to have
man.
interviews like this, I must say, because you know what you're talking about. You've done your research, you've followed the scene, you love UK music, I can tell. I can see, I love that. I go into interviews sometimes and they ask me these straight boxed in questions which just like I don't even want to answer, I want to go home. And I really want to stay and do more and speak about more because this is a good show.
I had a lot of questions as well, but you know what? We're going to follow each other on Twitter.
come back.
Definitely.
I will come back.
Definitely. We're going to follow each other on Twitter.
Okay.
We're going to keep the conversation flowing. And definitely about Lord of the Mics 5. We've got to have you to come down to the studio. Do you know what
Always,
I'm
man.
saying?
When I'm doing Lord of the Mics 5, we'll get back down and get some of the guys down as well, man.
Definitely, man.
Respect. Thank you for having me, man.
Okay, let's roll out with Decline now, yeah?
Bless.
London Hours.